been a while since we've gone live. But I guess there's important wrestling news to be talked about, so that's why we're here.
That's right. Without further ado, what's up, guys?
Without further ado, here's the Jedi.
As you all know, the WWE has sold to the Saudi Arabian people.
Unconfirmed. None of this is confirmed yet.
No?
No.
Well.
But that's the rumor around town.
I'm confirming it right here on the wrestling show.
No, he's not. But somebody will be confirming it soon, probably.
You heard it first here, wrestling fans. Yeah, the WWE is sold to the Saudi Arabian government.
Maybe.
I'm saying it's a done deal. You know why you say maybe?
Because it's unconfirmed reports. Mm-hmm. So I'm just being clear.
Okay.
Here on the live that it's not confirmed yet, but the rumor is that WWE is going to be selling to Saudi Arabia investors or Saudi Arabian something, which could have huge changes for WWE, obviously. So if that does happen, I think I've been calling this, but I think WWE is a dying sport, or wrestling is kind of dying. WWE has been slowly failing, so might as well watch it all crash and burn.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling about this situation. If it's true that they're going to sell to the Saudi Arabias, I feel like WWE is done. I think women wrestling on WWE will be done. And maybe I'm just like thinking super negative about it, but it's my opinion.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are in your same position that are feeling really negative about this situation. It's like a lot of people's worst nightmares. You know?
Yeah, I could see that. I feel bad for the people who really like WWE or like have been a fan of WWE for a long time. But personally, it's probably if they were to go out of business, I think it would be good for us. So I don't particularly care either way, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. We do know that female wrestling is probably going to get shaken up a lot, which is something that you're passionate about. And we all know Stephanie McMahon now has officially retired from the wrestling business.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on that?
She quit because she heard that or knows that they're selling to the Saudi Arabian people. And if I was Stephanie, I'd be pissed off too. She worked really hard on the women's division and to create and help female wrestling and help pioneer it. And if you sell the Saudi Arabians, are they going to let females wrestle? Are they going to let them wrestle the way they want to wrestle? Are they going to have to like wear clothes they don't want to wear? Like, I don't know. It just seems all super sketch, but that's what I think. I think she just kind of said, fuck it. I'm done. Triple H is next.
You think?
For sure.
Yeah, that could happen as soon as we figure out that the Saudis own it. That could be their first thing they do is get rid of Triple H.
Yeah.
Interesting revelation. After all these years of the McMahon family being like the main family in wrestling, it's about to be no more McMahons left in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Vince just wants his company to die because he can't do it anymore. And if Vince can't be a part of wrestling, then you don't want nobody to be a part of wrestling. It's kind of the way it looks like from my standpoint, I guess.
So do you think that Vince ever actually stepped away from wrestling? That might be the squirrel that lives in the backyard.
Not to just stop everything, but I hear something. And the last time I heard something like that, there was legit a mouse. Is it in that bag?
Oh my God, it might be in the bag.
Oh my God. I really think that
I'm just going to set the bag outside for right now. It didn't feel like there was extra heavy, like there was a mouse in it. I'm gonna turn the speaker off because it might be like extra Bluetooth noise. I'm gonna get rid of all the reasons that there could be another sound going on.
So the other night we were sleeping in bed.
And a similar situation had occurred.
Yes.
There's definitely something else in this room with us. Perhaps an apparition?
Shh.
Grandpa? Come on now. It's got to be outside. I believe it's the squirrel. Let me just yell at his ass real quick.
Here.
What's his name? Thomas?
If it was a squirrel, you would really...
Thomas! See, he just knocked back. Get out of the roof! We can hear you in here. You're screwing up the live stream. God dang rodents. That's what happens when you build a clubhouse in an undisclosed location.
Oh my gosh. I'm like scarred. So like the other night, I was sleeping and I heard what I thought Matthew was working on the computer, like clicking noises, but then I realized he was snoring. Yeah, like that. And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like a mouse eating something. I woke Matthew up and I'm like, babe, listen to that. Yeah, so we got a mouse trap or whatever, and literally 2 nights later in the middle of the night, smash, got that thing with the mouse trap in the middle of the night.
The humanity.
So anyways, we killed one mouse and we were just sitting here. And that was definitely a mouse eating something or somebody eating something. Maybe it was just a squirrel.
We do have a pet squirrel, and I just threw a bag of trash out, and that son of a gun loves to go out there.
You threw a bag of trash out there and did not put it in the trash can?
No, it's in the trash can.
Oh, okay.
He knows how to open the trash cans.
Well, we don't have lids for our trash cans.
So it's easy.
Okay, well at least you put it in the trash
I
can
did put
because
it
he
in the
likes to
trash
just
can.
like throw it outside
And I
then
made it.
all the animals like
I made it.
tear apart the trash all over the place.
I made it.
Okay.
It's in the trash can.
All right.
So anyway,
Okay.
back to the
point.
question. Do you think Vince McMahon ever actually left the WWE, or was this whole thing just a storyline to see what the stock price would do if and he decided he was going to pretend to not
No,
be
I
there?
think he actually left because he thought he was in hot water.
So you think he really let somebody else take over creative for a month?
No, I think he like had to step down, but he was still pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you think all these WWE rehires was his idea, or do you think that that was somebody else who brought all these guys back that he once fired?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Could be the make it or break it question here with this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him hiring back, I guess, Braun Strowman. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
He brought Eva Marie back like 6 times. And
She's a
offered
fucking
nothing.
terrible wrestler, though.
Braun, yeah. He still can't figure out how to get in the ring.
I'm an Eva Marie, but yeah,
Oh,
Braun
yeah.
sucks too. I mean, at this point, I feel like I don't know if Vince brought them back or not. I would doubt it, but I still think Vince had some sort of pull, personally.
So you don't think that he just happened to see the direction of WWE and was like, fuck it, pulling the plug, let somebody else have this shit. It's not gonna die on my watch.
I mean, I think that he knows that it's not what it once was.
Kind of like what Stephanie said in her statement. You know, she wants to go back to liking it how she did when she was a kid, when she was just a fan. You know, they got too enthralled in it. Maybe all the McMahons became their characters, you know, and weren't ever actually able to live real lives. So now Stephanie's going to take the opportunity to do that. Hopefully Vince does too.
Maybe.
So what do you think this means for the WWE? Is it going to remain the way that it's been, unseemingly without missing a step, or is it going to change drastically?
I mean, I feel like I said it's gonna. If they sell the Saudi Arabians, my opinion, it's done. Like,
So just ending
it's gonna
completely.
done. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see them being able to run a wrestling show, and I feel like they could try to hire people to try to do it, but I don't think it's gonna go over. I've been seeing like trending tweet is RIP WWE, and yeah, I think that would be the consensus of most people. And that's what I think Vince wants. Honestly, that's what I think he wants to happen. I think he knows what he's doing.
I mean, at least in his own mind. He made something, and he's going to be the one to end
I'm saying, yeah, he knows what he's doing for what he wants done. He's doing what he wants.
Yeah, we looked up Vince McMahon's net worth, and it was like $2.9 billion. So, like, what's the point of even selling to the
Why you
highest
do
bidder
it for
at
the
this
money?
point?
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if all his money is just wrapped up in WWE. That's why it's that much.
True.
You know, so he wants a few billion. He wants what it's worth back.
Just to himself?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Like, literally, what does he even need that for? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
What are you going to do with billions of dollars? Like, you're not Elon Musk. You're not going to be going and making rockets. That's for goddamn sure. So, what are you going to do with it? You're going to die with it. Because he's just, you know, about the money.
In the grave, yeah. He's going to die with his money in the grave.
Probably.
Man.
Which is really... That's what you want, I guess.
It's an evil billionaire's
mentality.
mentality.
Yeah, it seems like he don't really care about his talent or his fans very much, but maybe there's something we don't know yet. But that's what it seems like to me, and so that's where I'm at today.
Yeah, because it's a big FU to the fans to just give it to the highest bidder.
Oh, yeah. And a fuck you to female wrestling
100%.
if the females aren't going to be able to wrestle.
Well, we see the kind of standards McMahon holds females to in his life in general.
True.
His pretend wife.
Oh, my God.
The storyline he had with Stephanie McMahon, which I won't even go into.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of really strange things when it comes to women. So I'm sure he don't care what they do with the women's division. It probably wasn't even his idea to have the women's division. As far as I was concerned, it was Stephanie's.
It probably was.
And they had to break his arm to have one women's pay-per-view. And they were never going to have another one.
Probably not.
Never. No, Vince put a kibosh on that once he's seen the numbers. It's like, okay, numbers are one thing, but you got a whole fan base out there of girls, obviously, who would want to watch more female wrestling. So just to completely squash it, give it only 1 minute in a WrestleMania match. Like they just...
I mean, I don't think I personally want to see an all-female wrestling, just like I don't want to see an all-male wrestling. Like, I want to see it all. You know, give me what you got. I want to see fucking girls wrestling dudes.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see girls wrestling girls, dudes wrestling dudes. Like, you know, tag teams with girls and boys. Like, why the fuck not? I think it would make it more entertaining. But if they sell the Saudi Arabians, I feel like that's just like a serious step backwards. Because, WWE by far has the best female league. You know what I mean? AEW sucks.
No.
Really bad. Not a fan of AEW's women's matches. They're really hard to get through.
True.
Not saying that they don't have talent, but I don't think they know how to put it all together, right? So...
They're missing a few things there.
Yeah. I mean, like, the best female wrestlers the WWE has.
Yeah.
You know, AEW's talent doesn't even compare, you know, to Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. Like, who does AEW got? Ty Conti.
Jade Cargill.
What's that one girl's name? That blonde girl who's with Ty Conti. Anna Jay.
Okay, yeah, I've seen her.
Toni Storm. Like, to me, those are all pretty average female wrestlers. Like, I don't know. You see a lot of girls that are like that.
Not very athletic is what you mean by average. You know,
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Their wrestling matches are just, like, not up to par.
Tryhards.
Yeah.
They spend more time on their costumes than they do on their...
Yeah, for
sure. It shows.
Yeah, it does. Unfortunately. So, I mean, we'll see what WWE does. If these rumors are true, what's going to happen with the women's division? Are they going to just have to go now to AEW? That would suck. Because I'm not an AEW fan personally. Their fucking show is a disaster for the most part.
Yeah.
So I would hate to see that talent have to go to AEW. That just doesn't know how to run a wrestling show, in my opinion.
They would all drown over there. There's just so many fish in that ocean anyway.
Yeah, it's really bad. And so many people don't want to be the top guys and run shit, and it's just...
There ain't enough hours on Wednesday night to house all these wrestlers that could be coming from this potential WWE sale.
This is going to be interesting. I'm curious on what the talent feels about this. But I would like to get a confirmation from WWE that this is actually happening.
Well, let me check on Twitter right now. I know that was one thing we were going to try to do while we were on this live, was to do like live tweet reads. So I'll just see what's trending on my Twitter. WWE sold is the #1 hashtag in sports right now. You're watching the WWE sale live right here on the Wrestling Show.
So what is... So this is the for you.
Yes.
Trending, but what
Still, WWE sold,
4,
#4.
Yeah.
So we can click on it. That's where I was just at. And we'll see what's up. Vince comes up first. So the first one, CM Punk said, "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork." That's a quote from CM Punk on Twitter. A little bitter? Maybe.
Is that actually CM Punk?
Let's check CM Punk before we quote this any farther. Which he is player coach on Twitter. Perhaps Punk did not say that. Okay. So on this show, be prepared to hear some shit that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I was about to say,
when we're reading the tweets, we're just going to read the tweets. That's what it says. That's what somebody made it look like. So therefore, it's a meme. And it's funny. Triple H with William Regal and Paul Heyman running their own promotion would be money. R.I.P. WWE. WWE sold. AEW over the news of Vince McMahon selling the WWE company to the Saudi Arabian prince, and it shows Shawn Michaels dancing on Mick Foley's casket. Okay. This also shows, this is funny, I'm going to have to show you guys this. This is the Krusty Krab burning while Mr. Krabs watches it. So that's just pretty much what the Twitterverse is saying. So it looks to me like they're sold to Saudi Arabia. I don't know if the WWE is going to come out and say it yet until they inform all their employees, but everything on there is looking like it is. Let me go here and check and read some of the comments that we got from the good fans in the wrestling verse. Brandon Stevens, this guy, I'll put him in timeout since all he wants to do is say the same thing over and over again. Someone said nope to one of our opinions. Probably about Vince McMahon running the thing the whole time. I've always been a firm believer that he never went nowhere. It was just a publicity stunt. I've also seen Vince McMahon blow up in a limo, and supposedly be dead just to come back to life 2 weeks later to say, this is all a show here, folks.
This person says it's bigger than WWE and AEW. It's a more example of American billionaires selling American institutions to hostile foreign powers because money is their god and they worship that over the love of country.
Or fans. Yeah, you're right. In this case, McMahon put the love of money over the love of his product, which is his fans. We're all the product of what he's made and created. And he's pretty much going to say, you know what? Let the Saudis run it because they got the most money and they know how to use it. And wrestling fans are going to just watch whatever we put out there. It's worked for Vince for his whole entire career. He's never really had to live up to a standard of this is the best wrestler.
Oh my God, somebody said David Arquette winning the world title is no longer the worst thing to happen in pro wrestling.
Yes! Yes.
So
Thank
funny.
God. Yeah, bro, because if Vince does this, I don't want to hear nobody say shit about what happened over to WCW. They tried their fucking best.
Yeah, people are saying, like, Vince McMahon let us all down. Like,
Yeah.
I feel bad for all the really true diehard WWE fans because I think this is it, man. I don't know if WWE is going to be able to survive now.
Because they are going to turn a lot of their fan base away. Because as far as I'm concerned, I heard a lot of negative connotations about the WWE even doing any Saudi Arabia pay-per-views whatsoever. So the fact that they're going to be running the whole thing is a lot of fans that are not happy with the Saudi Arabian situation to begin with. So this is just going to further them jumping off the train that is WWE. Cyrus 3D, what's up, bro? Let's see what he's got to add to the conversation. He said, Steph has resigned. Wonder how long it will be before Triple H goes. That's what Kate was saying at the top
I think
of the
Triple
hour.
H is next. I really do. I mean, I think everybody's going to go. Like, I don't really... But yeah, Triple H is going next, and then everybody else is going to follow.
Cyrus said that I was right about it being a publicity stunt for sure. Yeah, it definitely was. McMahon went nowhere. It was just all for the publicity. Once he realized that it was only in the news for one day, he realized it wasn't that big of a publicity stunt in the first place.
Right. Somebody said Saudi Arabia buying WWE is truly the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen in my long life of being a wrestling fan. And that means a fucking lot. Fuck Vince McMahon for the sexual assaults, poor employee treatment, and for this. Of all fucking things.
Yeah, he gets
R.I.P.
accused
WWE.
of sexual assault on a bunch of bitches. And what's he do to laugh in our faces? He sells his company to the Saudi Arabians for an undisclosed billions of dollars.
Yeah, somebody says, so I'm finding out that Vince McMahon is a bigger piece of shit than I originally thought. Like, yeah, this really kind of speaks to who he is. And it's like a selfish, like, just selfish. Like, you don't care about all of your fans. It's really how it feels. He's just going to tear down everything the family built just because he's not going to be there anymore. It's just like super egotistical.
Some people just like to watch the world burn. And in this day, it's Vince McMahon who's going to sit back.
Oh my gosh. Somebody else says, putting all jokes and sarcasm aside, I will say that I have fond memories from back when I used to enjoy watching WWE/WWF. I won't say I enjoyed everything because I didn't, but there are some special moments that stick out. This is goodbye to WWE. Thanks for the memories.
Hashtag RIP WWE.
Yeah, hashtag RIP WWE. All these have hashtags.
Wow.
RIP WWE at the end, pretty much.
Okay, because that's what.
Because that's what the
that's
hashtag.
The trend.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. If you're watching this video right now, be sure to tweet it with hashtag RIP WWE right here from the Outliers. If you guys want to add to this conversation, feel free to leave your comments down in the comment section below. We will be responding to everybody's comments, so I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say in response to all these things that we're saying. WWE's going live in 30 minutes. It's not even going to talk about the situation. It's business as usual. Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis. Like, really? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Somebody said the fact that Vince could care less about the way women are being unjustly executed in Saudi Arabia every day, or the LGBTQ laws are fucking heinous in that country, speaks to his true character.
Wow.
True. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you're going to give all this country like a bunch of money and they don't even know how to treat women. Like, how are they going to run this multi-billion-dollar company? And their values are fucked up. Like, that's.
Yeah, they're gonna make it a private entity. I'm not sure if you figured that part in yet.
Yeah, I heard that they are, which.
So no board of trustees type shit.
Right, they are gonna be able to do whatever the fuck they want, pretty much. So not have women wrestle.
Yeah, so
or make them wear fucking ridiculous clothing that nobody wants to wear. Like, I don't know. It's just such bullshit.
Yeah. Man. This is a weird day in wrestling. The WWE has changed forever, as we know it. I was having dreams about it this morning. Like, I literally couldn't stop thinking about it. How does this happen? We know how it happens. Blood money.
Oh my god, yeah. And this guy, the last tiniest shred of respect I had left for Vince McMahon is now gone. Should have stayed gone instead of killing your legacy. Man.
My brain is taking me back to a moment when WWE was at a good point in time. I feel like 2002, 2003.
Oh my god. This is actually really funny. I said, oh my god, I just booted up WWE 2K22 after the update, made a new character, lost the first match, and they threw me a wood chipper. Oh my god.
But yeah, at one point, Vince McMahon did a storyline where he said if he was going to kill WWE, he was going to do it himself. And he injected poison and brought the NWO in to essentially kill the WWE. So when he brought in Nick Khan, he was essentially bringing in a lethal dose of poison that was going to infect the whole entire company.
Wow.
And cut them all off. Boom, 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 one at a time. They cut out how many employees since 2020? A lot. Probably over half. And now they've got the people that they're going to run with, which is going to be few and far in between.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's really sad. I think that's what's frustrating the most is the women's matches are just going to be no longer there. Like, I don't know. It's going to be hard to watch the downfall, but It's a train wreck that you can't stop watching at this point.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we already watched this train run for 50 years, so we're not going to turn our heads right when it's about to smash.
No. I've been waiting for this moment, actually. So.
You have been calling it.
I have been saying it. I've been saying it for a long time that wrestling is a dying sport, and I was going to watch it die. I think I literally did a whole promo on it. And I meant it, not that I wanted to actually kill it myself.
But it was doing it itself.
But it was doing it itself for sure, and that's easy to see. Yeah.
It's too bad. There was too many gatekeepers in wrestling too, I feel like, and that kept a lot of the good, positive influence out. And it kept it stuck to the same few minds forever. And that really paused the progression of what wrestling could have become because of all the gatekeepers saying, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, you got to follow this rule, follow that rule. I'm not letting that person there because they did this. Yeah. It's like, whoa.
Wrestling fans are very opinionated about their wrestling, and they want things to be done like certain ways, and I don't know. This is pretty big though.
So Michael Carr just joined, and Poe Girl Shines just joined. We got a couple things to add to the conversation. Poe Girl Shines says, yup, WWE has released many from contracts. Now they say it was sold, then denying it was sold. So, okay, so they're saying back in the day when they were letting all these people go that they weren't trying to sell the company. Just like Stephanie was saying last week that there ain't going to be no changes in day-to-day.
Yeah, you can't.
It's all lies.
It is a lie.
It's wrestling. It's all a storyline.
The real honestly, shit comes it's business. Like, that is business. Like, when something crazy is going down in business, only the top people know about it, and they just lie to everybody else and then just hit you with it because they don't want to cause,
shock,
anger, confusion, whatever, but chaos, essentially. So that's just part of business. They tell you, oh, nobody's gonna get laid off during this venture. Yeah,
downplay everything.
It's not true. It's not true. No. So.
Whew. Michael Carr says, hi, guys, just joining in. What's up, buddy? From across the pond. He said, what do you think of the news going around in the WWE?
Yeah, it's what we've been talking about, and it's unfortunate for WWE fans.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like a kick in the gut.
For sure.
I was hoping that it was going to be like Comcast.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured once they sold that it was probably going to be the end of WWE, so I can't be that shocked. Like, even if they sold it to, like, Peacock or whatever, they're just going to take what they get. I mean, do they really want to keep this wrestling show running or just let it be what it was under Vince and the McMahons? I think that might have been inevitable either way. But this way, I feel like it's definitely done. It's going to be slowly faded out. And women aren't going to be wrestling for Saudi Arabia and anything.
So a backward step.
Huge. Huge backward step, I think. Well, I mean, if there isn't going to be if WWE just, all the dies, like all the RIP WWE is trending, like I think everybody kind of knows that's the most likely outcome of this. And it's kind of unfortunate for, like I said, the WWE fans and all of the talent, especially for the females. I mean, I feel like female wrestling really got the edge from WWE. I don't think anybody did it and pioneered it the way they were able to.
Great point.
No, yeah. Like I said, they got all the best female talent is at WWE.
Yeah.
It's not in AEW.
Yeah, that's true.
And what? It's just, are these females aren't going to be able to wrestle anymore? Like, I got a lot of questions. But only time's going to tell how this is going to go.
Yeah. We got nothing but time here in the wrestling universe to see how it evolves.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it could be a step back, but maybe it's just a step towards closing down. And being done. That's essentially where we're at.
Right. But I feel like it's going to be a huge step back for female wrestling.
So somebody else said, Cyrus 3D said, I also heard a WWE star who remained anonymous say that they were going to leave if the Saudi deal went through, which could have been Stephanie. Did you guys hear that? And who do you think that wrestler is? Well, I'm going to say it's Stephanie. And probably Sami Zayn, who I'm sure is going to be fired. Anybody else who pretends to be, I can't say pretends, I don't know, but tries to be a Muslim. I know there's a few guys on the roster, and I believe that the Saudi Arabian people and their religion highly frown upon certain things, women being out in public, 1. 2, people pretending to be Muslim that aren't. So I'm really curious how they're going to handle Sami Zayn. I was expecting that son of a bitch to win the Rumble. Now I got a feeling he's going to be taking the next train to AEW.
Yeah, and like another question I have, somebody had said on Twitter, is like Saudi Arabia and over there, they're not as open-minded to like the LGBTQ movement. And you know, like Finn Balor used to come out with like different rainbowed things for the movement and pride colors and things like that. Like that, they're not probably going to be able to do that anymore. Like
no more breast cancer awareness month.
Yeah, like I just feel like this is such a step back that at this point it needs to just end, because I don't think I'd want to see it. You know what I mean? I don't want to see it.
That's why McMahon took his little baby out beside the barn.
Hey.
And shot it. You know what they do.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. You realize that your calf ain't gonna live. You take it out behind the barn and shoot it. It's pretty much what McMahon did. He couldn't realize.
Morbid analogy.
Well, he couldn't watch his company just suffer. So he injected it with a lethal dose of poison. How's that? Better than a gun? That was my original analogy. I guess it did go a little morbid. But yeah, so McMahon is trying to kill it off. I believe that anonymous wrestler was Stephanie McMahon. She's been more than just a wrestler, though. She's been everything to the WWE. She's the one that pioneered the women's wrestling like we talked about. Poe Girl Shine says the mainstream is what kills stuff. Status quo. So maybe the mainstream helped kill off some of wrestling. The more popular it got, the more inevitable it was going to be that it fell.
Yeah, I don't know. Feel like WWE has had certain aspects about it that are pretty mainstream and other things that aren't. You know, John Cena's mainstream, The Rock's mainstream, Kevin Owens not as mainstream. So like I kind of like could pick different things apart that's more mainstream and what's not as far as WWE is concerned.
Yeah. I do go both ways. Michael Carr says, to change the subject, he loved Kate's New Year's Nightmares video. Both of you did absolutely great, especially Matt as Kane. Absolutely loved it.
Thanks.
Thanks, bro. That was a lot of fun.
It was fun. I like doing those every year.
It's always fun to wrestle throughout the house. My brother's like, where do you get these costumes at? I'm like, I don't know. They're just in the costume room.
They're just down there.
I don't know where they come from.
We collect them over years and years.
Yes. That was a great episode. And, you know, if you're looking for an alternative wrestling show to watch, you've come to the right place. Because we're not sure what you're going to see on WWE, but we're guaranteed you're going to see the best female wrestler wrestling right here on YouTube on the wrestling show. I'm talking about Kate Jones.
I mean, WWE isn't going to affect me much because I'm still going to be wrestling.
True.
Doing my thing, so.
And with this new regime, for all we know, they might drop all the restrictions and they might actually have a better place for us to go and work and wrestle for.
That's what you said earlier, because we do have a lot of fans on that side of the world.
Yes, as far as our fans on YouTube are concerned, America is number 1, but Saudi Arabia is number 2.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Your best chance of seeing us on a wrestling show on TV is if it's run by the Saudi Arabians.
Yeah, we would have never got hired by Vince.
No, not in a million years. No. I'm a known stoner, and you know Kate's morals are higher than most women's, so she wouldn't make it in.
People like to question my morals.
Yes, but in my opinion, they're the highest of standards, and that doesn't really translate well to closed-minded Americans. So I can see why we would have been kept on the outskirts. But now with this new regime, the doors may be open for such outliers like us and other people that do slightly risky wrestling.
Or they're going to, like, wrestling fans are going to lose a huge aspect of wrestling, and they're going to be looking for wrestling somewhere else. So.
Welcome to the wrestling show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we could be a nice alternative.
Sure.
You know, our story, I feel like, is new. It's developing every day. You and I are constantly working together to come up with some of the best wrestling content, and we're not doing it for clout. You know, we're not doing it for just to be excited about, hey, this is the wrestling show. Like, we actually have a passion about wrestling. When we started the wrestling show, it was because I felt like wrestling was going down, and she couldn't stand watching it. So I'm like, damn it, I got to make some type of wrestling show that I can watch so my family can watch it also, because what we had to show them was WrestleMania, and that was fucking embarrassing. Yeah, the king just
I think through like the first 3 years of our marriage, Matthew would put on wrestling every single night and watch it all the time. And I don't think I ever like watched it and digested any of it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is really stupid. How the fuck can you watch it? I have much more of appreciation now that I understand it, but I am not the biggest wrestling fan. I'm just like a really harsh critic of wrestling because I think like wrestling can be really awesome and really cool, and I can also think it can be really stupid and really bad, like indie wrestling. You know, really stupid, really bad. It's, you know, even professional wrestling in the WWE can be really fucking bad, but some of it's really good. So, but some people just like it all. They'll watch any match and enjoy it. Not me.
Yes, it's a very good point. I definitely agree with you. And Kate's more into fighting and not acrobatics.
True. Yeah, like I like the MMA a lot when we got together, and that was like Matthew's biggest problem with me is how do you watch MMA, not WWE? Said it was so white trash of me.
They were both scripted, I feel like, but the MMA was
Whatever,
so
yeah.
boring. Yeah, but no, I get it. I get it. It seems like there's more possibility of real violence, and that at the end of the day is what the majority of wrestling fans are watching it
Right.
for.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, for sure. You're watching it for, you know, pain, violence, something crazy to happen. Like it can happen in MMA and in wrestling, but yeah, I do like fighting in general.
Yes.
But WWE was just a little more of a stretch for me because, you know, it's predetermined.
And I mean, it's
But
pretty.
I will say that there is matches that really annoy me when it's just so scripted and it's like, oh, flip here and flip off here and flip here and bounce off the ropes here.
And catch me. Make sure
Yeah.
you're there to catch me. Two guys got to catch me on this jump.
Yeah, I don't like that
Never
as much.
seen you say that.
Yeah, I don't like that as much. So yeah, I'm a harsh critic, and like I like my matches to be like good, hard hitting, fighting, bumps, like
Believable.
yes. Like the other day we were watching Raw and like Ricochet was up on dude's shoulder, kicked off, like there's two dudes standing here and he was up on his shoulder, kicked off the other dude and flipped himself, pushed himself off, fell on his face and then stoled. It was like, I clearly just watched you take your foot, kick off that guy, jump off that guy and fall on your hands. You know what I mean? So scripted, and now you're gonna sit there like somebody hurt you? Like nobody even did anything to you. Like you did it yourself. They just stood there. It was like not cool, not funny. And then somebody started come beating them up. I'm like, see, this I can't handle. Like this is little kid shit for me. I just don't like it. But anyways, that's my rant on that. I could go on forever on what I don't like about wrestling, and I won't do that to all of you guys because I know you probably love it.
Well, shout out to Ricochet. He's got engaged yesterday.
Oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Stick to the married life. Quit wrestling. It's not really your thing.
He's probably be a much better husband. We see.
Maybe go make yourself a family.
Yeah.
Just call it a day. Ain't nobody wants to do that shit.
Yeah, Kate's not into the acrobatic wrestling.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. That's why I have a hard time with AEW because it's like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. But big power moves I can watch all day. Good wrestling matches that I think the women have been able to capture better than the men in WWE as of recently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What did you think about Ronda Rousey losing her belt
Good.
to Charlotte in that
Yeah.
couple seconds? You
For
like
sure.
that?
I like that, yeah. I like that. I'm over Ronda. Peace. Charlotte's, you know, probably the best female wrestler of all time. Changed my mind.
Yeah.
Like she is. So
Yeah, no,
if you're gonna put her over like that, put her over like that.
Agreed. Let's see. Cyrus 3D says, you guys are doing a great job. You do not need WWE. WWE needs you. That's a very good point. Yeah.
Especially now.
They really do
They
now.
got some problems.
Bro, they really do. Michael Carr said, how would you feel if Tony Khan hired you for AEW or their other show, Ring of Honor? I would say he was smart. You know?
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, Tony Khan would be smart to hire us. Either company at this point would be smart to hire us. Like I said, we got a huge Saudi Arabia backing. We got a huge YouTube backing. any of these other wrestlers can go out there and make a YouTube channel and they won't get as many subscribers or followers as we do.
I think what's interesting about us is we're like completely self-made. I mean, there's other wrestlers that I think are bigger, but they've had to go on other people's programming to get that big, like Impact, New Japan, AEW.
Ring of Honor, they've had to be somewhere to get started on some program.
Right.
Not us. Our only program and platform has been YouTube the whole entire time.
Right, our own self-made show.
Yeah.
That we had to make to put ourselves over, because we have 3 children, so it wasn't, when we wanted to start being wrestlers, it wasn't really feasible for us to just be like, oh, let's go train here, train here, train here. It's like, if we want to learn to do something like this, we just have to do it ourselves. And I think that we've been able to do that, and I think that we've been able to share and let other people come on the show and get, notoriety, or get, be able to show off their skill set. And I want to keep doing that for sure. But yeah, it's a tougher road when you just go from 0 to where we are now and not have the help of anybody else.
Yeah, for real. Besides the fans, the supporters here right here on YouTube.
Really, just the fans.
Yeah, just fans. Self-made, fan-made, for sure. Everything you see about the wrestling show is 100% fan-made.
For sure.
And we're forever grateful for that.
For sure. To all the people. And like, we have so many fans that have watched since the beginning, and I
get messages, and so does she, daily. All the time, daily. I can't even look at my phone.
Yeah, I've watched your show since you guys started. I love your show. And like, stuff like that makes me feel so good. Especially when it's like the day one people are like, have been there since the beginning. So cool. And I'm glad that like we're still being creative and innovative to where people want to still see us wrestle. Because I feel like anybody else, you kind of would get sick of watching the same people wrestle. But I think that our show is just different. The storylines are different. I mean, we have storylines.
But it's real, though. But they still get the real aspect of 2 people that started out wrestling in their basement. 2 people, for real, going back and forth.
On a journey. And we've made a lot of fake storylines, but we've also implemented a lot of real storylines that have occurred while doing this.
Never had the same match twice?
Never.
Wrestled a million times?
Yeah. And we don't keep the same moves. Like this upcoming season, I'm kind of changing my look. I might change my name. I'm not going to do the same moves that I did last season. I'm going to completely change up. Not necessarily my style, because I like a hard-hitting style, but some of the moves I do are definitely going to be different, because I can't do the same thing forever. It just drives me crazy. So.
It's smart as a professional wrestler to evolve.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, we're going to be a little smaller group this upcoming season, which I think we've already started, but we can't wrestle as much in the cold, so I haven't really been doing as much. But once it gets a little bit warmer and we start doing some more storylines in wrestling, it's really about to be on. I feel like I'm excited for it.
Yeah, 2023 is like a wide open lane for wrestling, in my opinion.
It is.
We got a lot of good ideas for this.
Yeah, I felt like last year we started off, did we still have a whole crew of people? Like, we had a whole crew of people that we were writing and scripting and doing all these things for. And now it's just the original people. Me, you, Aiden, and JB, I think.
Yeah, what was last year? It was 2023.
Abs. For a little bit.
Well, yeah, we got Dougie, and we got my brother, and we got my Aiden.
Yeah, I just feel like the people that they're aware of, yeah. But yeah, I guess we got Dougie.
There's people on deck. Kato and Naomi are definitely coming back to the wrestling show. Yeah. Controversial Nightmare. Shout out to them. I know Kato's won a title on the independent scene, so I'm challenging for that son of a bitch.
Hell yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of wrestlers that come in and out. You know? So we're always going to be bringing in new talent.
Yeah. We always want to bring in new talent.
Yes.
When they're around.
Yes, but it's also nice to rotate people around, too. Because people get full of themselves if they stay around us too much, it seems like.
Yeah.
Their heads get too big for their britches.
Well, I think a lot of people come into the show thinking that we're like running some sort of promotion like the indies that they're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how are you going to book me, or how I'm going to fit into the show, and I want to be the top guy. And it's like, you're actually coming into a story of like 2 wrestlers being the outliers and their trials and tribulations. You know, it's more like a movie.
A reality series?
Yeah, less of hey, I'm trying to find a new champion for my promotion. That's not really our thing. And I think that was very confusing to people who tried to come in the show and, weren't satisfied with not getting a belt or weren't satisfied with
not getting an episode surrounded around just them.
Right. And even though I feel like when we brought new people in, I think that
I tried my best to write for everybody, and I can't believe saying that.
I felt like we wrote for everybody. I feel like we tried to do the best with what we could, but at the end of the day, wrestlers got a lot of egos, and they all want to be the champion and the top dog and the this and the that, and it's like we can't suffice everybody's selfish needs here at the wrestling show. So anyways, hopefully we can keep going. Obviously we're going to keep going and doing what we're doing, but with less complications.
Less is more.
With less complications from...
Yes. The more people we cut out of my brain, the better peaceful it is in there. So let's see what else we got here going on. Let's see. Pole Girl Shine says, I was not a fan of wrestling till I actually sat down and started watching it. You see, it's an art form, and it takes real discipline. That's true. Michael Carr said, what's your thoughts on the flips and kicks and kicking out of two finishers, that style of wrestling? I think we already kind of know Kate don't like a bunch of flipping around and fakeness of
I don't like fake. I don't. However, I am a fan of power moves. I am a fan of hard-hitting style. So if you come out and you're fucking, like, I feel like me and you have done matches where it's like we come out and like we're fucking going at each other, and he'll hit me with 3 suplexes and then a tombstone and a this and a that and a this and a that. And I think that there are wrestling fans that really appreciate that style. So I can't say that I'm completely object to that, because at the end of the day, these are still all scripted moves. Everybody knows it. And who doesn't want to see Brock Lesnar throw a guy for an F5 5 times in a row? Like, I like that shit. I think I watched him do that to who when he came out at SummerSlam. He just came out and...
Was it John Cena?
Yeah, I think it was John Cena.
Yep.
And he just kept doing F5s on him. I'm like, yeah, I can watch that. That's pain. Like, that shit hurts if you ever take an F5.
It's one guy throwing another guy.
I'm down to see it. And I think that it's not called for in every match. I think when we first got started, I kind of told him at one point, I was like, you can't just come out in every match and just slam me until I can't take anymore, legit. And I'm like, get the fuck off me. I'm ending this match. Fuck you. What the fuck?
Slam you.
Yeah, so I think it's called for at certain times, but yeah, it has to be scripted out correctly. And I fucking kicked out of One Wing Angel, and I think so.
All of Japan threw a fit.
Yeah, somebody said all of Japan's gonna throw a fit, but honestly, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I've kicked out of Tombstone. I've kicked out of every fucking thing.
You're the Empire.
Whatever. I think it just depends on the match and how you write
the dramatics,
that match,
If it's called for, it's called for.
Right.
But never is it going to be called for a guy to be laying outside of the ring and you think it's appropriate to stand up on top of the ropes and jump off and do some type of moonsault on the guy. Like, that's not what you're saying. You would not do that.
No, I could give a shit less about the moonsault move. Like, what is that? Like, cool, you can do a flip. If I was watching gymnastics, maybe I'd be impressed. But in a fight, I don't care.
You would roll out of the way, is the actual answer. If somebody was to do that, it's so goddamn scripted. The last motherfucking thing I'd do if someone comes flying at me is do this and catch him. Hell to the no. Unless I was paid to do it. But it doesn't make sense to the rest of the thing.
Right. And I feel a lot of these people probably are paid to do it. If you paid me, $250,000 for 1 year to come fuck around, yeah, I'd come fuck around, I guess. But
I'd voice my opinion of being objective.
I probably would too. I mean, if I had any sort of say so on how the match went, or I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So that's our opinion on the flippy flopping and the kicking out. Po Girl says, I love some of the choreographed moves between two wrestlers that work together like you guys. So yeah, we do choreograph a lot of stuff that does make sense in the context of wrestling. If it doesn't make sense in the context of wrestling, then you're trying too hard.
Yeah, it's got to make sense. And I'm like, I've wrestled people that are like, we just do it on the fly. We don't write anything down. We all just call it in the ring.
And it shows.
Yes, it does. I am not that wrestler. I am the type of person I want to write down. I will write down even when I need to taunt. You know what I mean? Like, I want all my stuff to be written down, memorized. We practice it to the point where we make it look believable. You know what I mean? Like, we practice taking a bump or selling a certain way to make it look as believable as possible. And that's what makes good wrestling. So it does have to be choreographed, but it has to look like a fight is actually occurring.
Correct. Very good point. Matthew, what's up, buddy? Cool name. He says, hi, guys. I really enjoy you guys, and you guys are awesome.
Thanks,
Matthew.
Appreciate the support.
Michael Carr says, I've been with you guys since the beginning. You have come a long way from Tombstones on Kate to having your own show. Proud of you both. Big things in the future. Keep it up, my friends.
Thank you.
For sure. He definitely has been there with us from the beginning.
Yeah, a fan for such a long time, and I'll always appreciate you.
Yes. Old Brandon Stevens is back. He's going back to timeout. Oh, my God. Will this kid ever learn? Cyrus 3D, match idea.
He really wants to marry me, and Brandon Stevens, if I wasn't already married, maybe it'd be a possibility, but I am taken. But thanks, you can keep the ring.
Yeah.
The tattoo ring.
Nah, bro.
But
it's in my skin,
you
bitch.
can keep telling me that you want to marry me. It's kind of flattering. So anybody that wants to propose to me via YouTube, have at it.
Give me an idea. Okay, anyway. Match idea from Cyrus 3D that the WWE hasn't done for you guys. A 4-way elimination last man standing match where 4 of you wrestle, 1 goes down for the 10 count, and then 3 of you wrestle until 1 is left standing.
Oh, I like that. Me, you, JB, and Aiden. Book it.
That sounds good. For the title.
Book it.
For the title. It sounds good, bro. Hopefully the algorithm can hear this. Yes.
That sounds like a good time.
That sounds like a good match. And that'd be
I
one way.
really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Me too.
I need a fucking title.
I need a title. Yeah, it's my belt.
Whatever. For another day.
I
ain't trying to argue with you about the belt on live right now, but we all know how this is going to go down.
I'm sure we have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
So that looks like all the comments that we got. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Clubhouse. Today, like I said, has been a crazy, crazy day. This may be the end of the WWE as we know it because there's been a sale from the WWE, Vince McMahon, to the Saudi Arabians, unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed, kind of confirmed. We're not sure, but we'll be back to talk more about it, I'm sure, because it's really crazy.
Yeah.
News coming in that I feel like all us wrestling fans are going to have to figure out how to process and deal with. But I think most of us are kind of angry.
We will be here for you guys if you need a support group.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave comments. We'll write back.
Yeah, I feel more bad for the true fans that really love WWE. Because for me personally, like I said, if they were to go out of the way, let's kill the WWE. Let's get rid of them next.
They're gonna get rid of themselves.
I want to be the top wrestling show.
The only wrestling show. That's why we named it. Everything else is just past. We're the only thing that's different. So either they can get with us or they can get behind us. That's kind of where I'm at. So
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was going to do my taunt, but I'm actually in the middle of changing it.
Yeah, lots of things are changing. I feel like we're in character development as we speak. Yes. People have been jacking the taunt, Matthew's taunt.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to
2 people.
It's probably more than that, but it's okay to pay homage to people. Like, obviously, when I bought this outfit, I thought
not if you're a hater, not if you're a hating ass motherfucker trying to copy our show.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Just saying. Just fucking saying. Going to our same location, trying to do the same shit, talk about some tombstones all day, and stealing our taunts. Yeah. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can try to copy, but it's not going to end up well.
No. Fuck no. But imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So keep on doing your surfer taunts all you want. Fucking cocksuckers. Peace.